Hey everybody, this is Ashley, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about AMS ads, so Amazon advertising. And so I'm just making this video to give you a little bit of information. Alright, so I've created a new campaign. I've gone into my Amazon and you can create a new campaign if you have an Amazon advertising. And if you have a KDP account, you can do that. You can do Amazon advertising. So once you're in Amazon advertising, or like everyone calls them AMS ads because that's kind of what it used to be called, you get new campaign and you're going to get these two types of campaigns. So you have sponsored products and lock screen ads. Lock screen ads are basically on a Kindle, and for low content books and paperback books, I don't think lock screen ads are really a good idea, because people on a Kindle click on the lock screen ad, they want to purchase the book and read it on their Kindle right away. These type of ads are also good if you are planning on doing like a series of books. So if you had like a series of ebooks, lock screen ads might be for you. But for low content books, you're probably considering sponsored or products. So you're going to click continue. And then I'm going to kind of walk you through what you want to do. You want to come up with a campaign naming system. Maybe you name it by category, by niche, when it started, what type of it is. There's different, like I a lot of times will have my niche, and then I'll say whether it's auto and manual, and I have some notes afterwards. But you can't delete anything once you get it on once you create a screen. You don't have to run the ad, but you can't delete the data, the ad, so it kind of clutters up your screen. So you definitely want to come up with some sort of naming scheme so that you can kind of find things. It does become a little overwhelming. This is a portfolio, and you can create portfolios to put things into so that you can find, maybe you want to make a niche portfolio, and then you can put that type of niche within those portfolio, those types of books within that portfolio. Or maybe you want to make it by your author name or something like that. But this is a way to group ads. So your start date and end date, it depends how you want to do this. I check my ads every few days or every day. So I always go from whenever the date is until no end date, unless it is something seasonal. So like if I'm doing a Halloween notebook, or I'm doing 4th of July or some holiday, Father's Day, Mother's Day, I will usually end the campaign just a few days prior to that holiday. Sometimes I'll go up to the holiday or maybe after. It kind of depends what the holiday is, because some people buy things afterwards. So I just but I don't usually go, I usually do it the day of. Now, daily budget. Here's the thing. Amazon is not like Google or some of the other things. They'll use up to your daily budget on throughout the month. So maybe some days, let's say you put $5 and they use $2 one day, they could use the next day, instead of $5, they could use up to what would be 10, so it would be $7. So if you spent $2 the first day, you could spend no, I didn't. That's math in public, isn't it? So if you spent $2 the first day, it would be they could spend up to $8 the second day, because it could average, $5 each day. Now, here's the thing with Amazon advertising. I am a most bang for the buck type advertiser. I found my best and most successful advertising campaigns when I am very specific, and I usually set my daily budget at $5 to $10. Amazon doesn't really take you seriously until you put $5 to $10. You can put $1 a day, $2 a day, all that, but some of your ads won't ever start. I always put $5 to $10, and I know you're thinking, oh no, I can't spend $5 to $10. Okay, don't worry. Definitely pay attention if you can't afford it. But how I do my ads, my daily budget doesn't make much of a difference. It just gets my ad running, but it doesn't necessarily, I don't get charged $5 a day. Very rarely do I ever get charged with my strategy, because I do a very low bid strategy. So I start my campaigns at 10 cents to 15 cents. And with that small of budget, or that small of bid, then you just don't hit that daily budget. So I always start with 5 to 10, but I check mine every day. I watch stuff. I monitor it. But it's the budget. It's not quite like Google and Facebook where they'll go through your budget no matter what. Amazon tries to show your ads to the right person so that they purchase. They don't just want the money for your advertising. They want someone to purchase something, okay? Because it's a win-win for them when someone purchases something. They get the money for your advertising. You're happy because someone purchased something, and they're happy because someone purchased something. So they are very focused on purchases. So they don't try and show your ad to everybody and their brother. They try and show it to people they think, based upon how the ad is performing, who will purchase, because that's what they want. They want to purchase, and you want to purchase. Okay, so you can choose here targeting, automatic or manual. I always run both. So I start with an automatic campaign, and I see what keywords that they get, and then I also will do a manual campaign. And manual, I look up long tail keywords, things that I think in particular will sell for my book. It could be other products. So, those also bots, or you always see those people buy this and this. So if I try and find books, titles, authors, that sort of thing that I think the same customers would be interested in my book. So if, they're going on a trip to Paris and I have a kids travel journal to Paris, I might start targeting specific with manual keywords, specific book titles about, Forbes or Fodder or whatever the different names are for those brand name books that, travel to Paris or things like that adult would buy for them, but then they might want a kids travel journal to Paris for a kid. So I try and use, you can use brand names in ads. You cannot use that in your keywords of the back-end keywords or on your book titles or any of that, but in an ad, you can use like branded trademark words because you're targeting people who purchase those things. You're advertising your book, who it would be someone who would want to purchase. If they purchased, a travel book about Paris, they might want one for kids too. So you can do those trademark words on an ad. And so I do manual targeting too, but I'm very specific. Now, Amazon says that you should do 200 to 300 words. That's what they suggest. More power to you. You can definitely come up with 200, 300 words. I tend to find that if I get 50 or 60, I'm really doing well. But I've had ads that were very, very successful because my product was super niche, that I only had 10 to 15 keywords for my ad, and it performed really, really well. Also, with the automatic targeting, if you do an automatic and a manual, you can get data of what is converting on your automatic targeting so that you can add those keywords in a manual campaign. Now, here's some of the keys. I suggest you can change your bids and things on an ad, but I tend to make a different ad if I'm going to add a large amount of new keywords or something like that. I tend to start a new ad. I'll stop an old ad and start a new one because sometimes ads get old and they just don't perform after a while. So if I'm going to do kind of an overhaul on my ad that isn't working anymore, if you notice like an ad just isn't working, then I'll beef up my keywords, change up my strategy a little bit, and create a completely new one. You can make small adjustments to existing campaigns, but sometimes that'll kill your ad. Sometimes it makes it do well, sometimes it kills it. It is kind of a art versus a science. There's definitely some numbers and science to it, but it's a lot about test and experimentation. But I would never do anything drastic or change anything big in any campaign, especially if it's running really well and it's doing well. Leave it. If something is working, if it's not broken, I don't fix it. But I do campaigns for each of these. I will do an automatic and I will do a manual. Sometimes the automatic performs better, sometimes the manual performs better, and I just kind of see which one performs better, and then I take some of the data from the automatic, and maybe I'll kill the first manual I did and create a new manual one with the data from the automatic targeting. Now, here's bid campaign strategy. You have dynamic bids, down bid only, dynamic bids up and down, and fixed bids. So this means it's kind of like exactly what it says. So if you send a 10-cent bid, it will only go 10 cents and lower. Okay? If you do dynamic bids up and down, it will go up by 100%. So it can go up to 20 cents. Okay, so it could be 10 cents to up to 20 cents. And it'll go down as well. Now, fixed bids is if you bid 10 cents, that's what you're bidding. I always do dynamic bids down because I have the low cost bid strategy, and so that's what works for me. I have done on some of my better successful ones, I have tried this bids up and down. I think this works best at Christmas time. I am more likely to use this strategy at Christmas because there's a lot more buyers, a lot more shopper out there, and I've had better success during high buying season, Christmas time. So I do use this at Christmas, but that's about the only time I try and use that. And I never use fixed bids. You can try it, but I haven't tried it. Custom ad text and standard ad. So I just go with standard, but if I have something specific or I'm trying to capture a certain audience, I might do some sort of line to grab a user's attention. So you can definitely do that as well. All right, now products. You pick your product. You can put one or several into an ad campaign. I've done both. Sometimes I'll throw them all in to one ad campaign, and it sometimes works, but I've had success more with individuals, though I have had a decent amount of success if it's like a similar book, different covers, but a same interior. I've had some success throwing 5 or 10 in here. I know people put hundreds or more, but I don't tend to do that. Okay, now here is this. Okay, so ignore this default bid. You can, if you so choose, or you can use their suggested bid, but I never use their suggested bids. Ever. Okay? I always start out my bids at 10 cents. If I have something, a certain niche or a higher price point item, I have an item that's $12.99, and it is my highest bid that I do for ads, it's 25 cents. Because I have a decent, at $12.99, my profit margin's like $5.25. So I have a decent amount of room in there for to spend on ads because my profit's $5. But those $2 books that you only get $2 in profit, 10 cents. I know there are people who have, strategies to be number one on Amazon, and they have to bid a lot more to get there. But if you're just starting out, and this is kind of what this video is for, it's for somebody who's just starting out, bid 10 cents. Okay, and then there's the negative keyword targeting. I don't do this. I know there's probably some great strategies for doing that, but I don't use this one. And for a beginner, I really don't think it's worthwhile. So once you're done, you put launch campaign. Like I said, I never use the default bid. I start with 10 cents. And I don't change my ads too much once they're going. I might, go up to 12 cents if I find something's working and I want to get a little more exposure. But I tend to keep things at 10. And if it doesn't work, I'll kill it and I'll try again. The interesting thing about Amazon ads is that, let's say, this is not proven, but it is proven as far as I'm concerned because I've run so many ads over the past 3 years now. I've spent probably $20,000, $25,000 in ads so far. And mine are pretty much not always profitable, but I would say everything's been definitely profitable. Overall, I've been profitable. I had one ad that went really bad because I wasn't paying attention to it. So that was a bad one and kind of ruined my overall record, but that's okay. Pay attention to your ads. That's the lesson there. And it didn't cost me that much, but I was frustrated with myself. So the interesting thing, so this is definitely proven as far as I'm concerned in ads. The interesting thing about ads is they can, it depends a lot on who the first impressions were given to. So if you are out there and you put it out there and it's good timing, and you get a decent amount of impressions, and then whoever clicks on it, like if you get clicks early and they purchase, those first few click to conversion purchases are huge. So if you get, like, say it's bad timing, or whoever clicked on your book just didn't buy it, then your ad might start to not perform well because Amazon thinks that your keywords aren't right, their keywords aren't right. So it won't continue to show the ad, it'll kind of die. So it really is kind of the luck of the draw of those first people who click on it, if they purchase or not. So sometimes if an ad is just not working, I kill it before I spend more than $1 at the 10 cents. If I spend more than $1 and nobody's purchased, I'm done with the ad. And even like I said, I keep those $5 to $10 per day as my budget. I could maybe spend at the 10-cent clicks. I might get to $1 in a week, maybe $2. I've had ones that are sitting on my ad things that spend $1 a month, and that's it. Okay, even though it's like $10 is my budget. It's because my bid is so low, it doesn't get quite as many impressions. But with those $2 price points, I just don't feel comfortable going over that. So if you're a beginner, stick to learning how this works and learning about it. And if an ad isn't working, kill it, and then don't give up. Maybe try it again. Try a manual ad, try another automatic ad. Just keep trying. If you think if it's a consistent seller. If it's one that has never sold and hasn't sold even with ads, maybe give up on that one. But if you have a book that consistently sells, even like 2 to 3 a month, then yeah, definitely an ad will help. And that low bid of 10 cents will give you maybe a little bit more visibility. So you might go, to 10 to 15 books a month, and you only spend $1 or something in ads. So I think that's a great return. I have some ads that have been on my dashboard for 2 years. I found just the right keywords, and they consistently convert, and so Amazon has not fiddled with them. I have ones that I have to kill and redo all the time, like every 4 or 5 months. So you do have to have a little patience. You can't just kill it within a day. If you're doing high, like this 75 cents, yeah, you're going to spend a decent amount quick, and it may or may not work for you. You won't get the data. So I tend to start really low. I hope this was helpful, and I hope I've given a little bit more insight on ads. There is so much to talk about ads. There's strategy. I'm actually going to work on an ads course. I have a plan for a flow chart. I know that sounds really technical. I'm an engineer, sorry. But what I realized when I'm doing ads, I have all this background knowledge in my head that when I make a decision and I try and explain, like, why do I bid 10 cents? Why do I do this? That there's like so much in my head that I'm assuming and not sharing with you that it seems to come out as not clear. And so I decided I really need to create like a strategy flow chart to say, okay, what is your strategy? And then lead you along a path to say, okay, if this is your strategy, this is how you should start bidding. If this is your strategy, this is what you should do. And kind of like literally that flow charts. Are you planning on doing this? Yes, follow this path. No, follow this path, right? But that's kind of my idea with my course, and to go through every single part of Amazon. It'll probably be a while before I get this out, but there is so much to learn of Amazon advertising. I've spent the past 2 years really researching and really spending a lot of time and money on this, and trying to be profitable. So I haven't made any huge mistakes. I think, like I said, my one mistake was like I lost $100 because I totally wasn't paying attention to this ad. So, if that's the worst that I got, I lost $100, and the rest has all been profitable, I'm not doing too badly. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of information. I hope this was helpful, and I'm excited to talk to you on my lives on Wednesday. So show up, and don't forget to check out ashschmidt.com, ASHSCHMITT.com, and check me out. And I'll hopefully I have courses and products, and hopefully I'll have lots of stuff for you. Okay, thanks. Bye.